Is that energetic enough for you? I hope so. Hey, listen, if you here happen to be watching this on live on YouTube or you're watching this thing on the replay, what you're watching is a simulcast of a open Q&A that I do every single week for the people who are in my masterminds. They happen to be joined here on the Zoom. We usually spend the first half an hour going through some of the stuff that we teach and talk about in the mastermind. And then I like to go live to YouTube, answer some questions that might show up. So that's what I'm here to do today. You'll notice I just took the cap off of this and I actually didn't take a drink of it. I'll do that 18 or 19 times through the course of the broadcast. Thanks for being here. I have a question queued up and I'm ready to answer it. And what I'm going to do to make this better for you is I'm going to share a note with you, and I'll do this by taking some notes right along with you. It's a pretty cool question, and one that I am happy to answer. So let's go here and let's share the note. Would have been great if I had the note, if I actually had the note ready to go. I thought I did, but I didn't. Oh, where did that note go? It's right here. I closed it by accident, is what I did. Or I have it open. It looks like I might have it open twice. Who knows why? Oh, yeah. I got it. I got it. Listen, the buttons are real small. All right. The buttons are real small. So I'll eventually get it figured out. Mm-hmm. Okay, there it is. I'll share this with you and then we'll get right to that question. That only took 15 or 20 minutes or so. Okay, so open Q&A, January 31st, last day of January. I do hope that you are prepared to crush it in February. So this question, this dude wrote to me. This dude seems like a pretty cool dude. And he says, I'm going to copy and paste the question. That way I can just have it right there. So this cat seems like a pretty cool dude. Says, I've been involved in network marketing companies, one for about 30 years, one for about 11 years. Hasn't been really building the business for 10 to 15 years. Do you have any marketing strategies for this type of business? Yeah. So the first thing I'll say to you is this. Network marketing is no different than marketing anything else. Everything works the same. And people in network marketing, they tend, you're not dissimilar from somebody who's selling a service or who's selling any kind of a product anywhere. You're really not dissimilar from that. So you can use all of the marketing strategies that we explore here, that I talk about on the channel, and they're all going to work for you. What's interesting is you as a network marketer, you're really selling two things. You're selling the opportunity to become a network marketer in your company, and you're selling the product. And I'm going to say all of this to you with a very neutral stance on network marketing, because I really don't have one. I wouldn't say it's a great business and I wouldn't say it's a terrible business. It's just a business. It's just a business. There are people out there who are super anti-network marketing. They don't like it. And then there are people that are really pro. And I'm very balanced with it. It's just a business. And if you offer a product that actually helps people, you wake up in the morning and say, I want to help people today, and the product actually helps them, like you're not tricking them in some way, then it's a business. And so you deserve to give it your all, and you deserve to make some money in that business. But don't fall into the weird thought process that you're somehow like wildly unique and that only really specific things are going to work for you. The only people that are telling you that are people that want to sell to network marketers. They've niched down. But I'm here to tell you that it's a whole lot simpler than you think, and the standard process of marketing is going to work for you. All right, so let's take some notes and we'll talk about this. Now, nowhere in here do I know what network marketing companies you're in. I don't really need to, but it would be helpful. One, you've been in for 30 years. So I'm going to guess it's one that's been around for a long time. Otherwise, you couldn't have been in it for 30 years. All right. So I'm highlighting things on my screen that I'm not sharing with you. So here we go. The first thing, let's see, if I were to give you some guidance on what to do, by the way, even if you're not a network marketer, this is going to help you. So listen up and pay attention. The first thing we're going to talk about is your content strategy. Okay, so that's item number one. So this means you're going to show up on social media and you are going to be creating content, and you're going to use that content to promote your product, service, business, the product or the opportunity. Yeah. And so one of the things that we have to remember is that nearly 80% of people who are problem aware and solution seeking want to be educated prior to making a sale. I didn't make that number up. That's based on research. So what do? You create educational content that actually helps them. Okay, so create educational content that actually helps them, that explores the benefits of the product, the service, the business opportunity, whatever it is you do. So how often should you be creating this educational content? Daily. Okay, you should be educating every single day. That's going to be that's like that alone, we could just finish right now, and that's going to get people coming to you. But I'll give you a little bit more than that. So you're going to create educational content. The little bit more that I'll give you is always make an offer. And that offer should be low friction, shouldn't have any big hurdles, should just be, hey, if you want to chat about this or you want some direct guidance or, that kind of thing, just always make an offer in your content. If you're promoting the business opportunity, we often find that sharing success stories, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, is a good idea. You could do success stories for people that have had the transformation from the product or the service or from the business. We just caution about income claims for all of you. Caution about income claims and results. You just got to be super, super careful with that. You really don't even say that that people are going to make money or get results. You say, look, this happened to this person. This probably won't happen to you. That's how you could lead it. This happened to this person. This probably won't happen to you. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. But sharing success stories. And then you could also share behind the scenes kind of stuff. BTS, behind the scenes, would be a cool thing to share of you running the business. However, caution, don't make it about you. Really don't make it about you. You should never make it about you. Always make it about them. So some additional considerations. It's time to don't show off your lifestyle. You don't have to do that anymore. Don't show off the lifestyle. Just educate people. Actually help them. So then next, strategy number 2 is your platform selection. It's really going to be, we don't have to get really complicated here. Instagram is going to help you showcase your products. This is where you can do your BTS stuff and share interesting stories. Facebook, come on. Facebook is where you can go into a little more detail, do product demos, testimonials, video testimonials. Go live if you can. That would be kind of cool to do. LinkedIn. This is where you do the hardcore business connections, make strategic business connections. Yeah, so platform selection is going to be important. Phase 3 for you is going to be, let's talk about, how about engagement? Yeah, Pinterest, boy, yeah, that's a good point. Thanks. Somebody in the Zoom, Bev in the Zoom talked about Pinterest. Pinterest is cool. I spent a lot of time building up stuff on Pinterest for a while. And then I just got busy with other things, and you always just have to start slicing stuff off because there's no, you only have so much time and attention. But Pinterest is good. Pinterest helps spread the word to new audiences. And Pinterest is great as a feeder source to other channels. There's probably some other stuff that you could do, but I think that's the 20% that'll get you 80% of the way there. Like the guys, people, guys and gals in the mastermind, they're messaging me and they're like, "Oh, talk about YouTube, talk about doing this on YouTube." I just want you to start, just start. If you want, like, come into the mastermind if you really want to get good at YouTube. I can't do that justice in the time that we have. So engagement. What I would recommend for engagement is, how about going live? How often? Going live. What do you guys say? Eileen says, highly recommend following my YouTube strategy. Eileen would know. Eileen would know. Eileen, your YouTube is like, yeah, I would go live often. I think daily. I would say daily, or at least at least a couple of times a week. Just go live. Just go live. Just turn on the, don't stress here. Don't stress about it. Don't stress about it, but also don't try to make it a commercial. I saw a network marketer who, you ready for this? I don't know this person, and I've served a lot of network marketers that I've had tons of them come through my service. This was not one of them. I don't know this person at all. But I saw this network marketer a woman whose husband cheated on her for a ton of years, and then overnight up and left. And so instead of sitting down and saying, okay, how do I get through this? This person took her phone and put it on the tripod and went live and was talking to social media about the situation. And while she was doing it, she had her protein powder, and she was, had her protein powder and put it in, and then had the special protein powder blender, and was making it, and literally turned the tragedy into a commercial. I I'm sorry. That's cringe. That's beyond cringe. It's just beyond, it's beyond anything. It's beyond anything. And so they were turning their, clearly a devastating situation that, you know, it's too much. Yeah, Jim says it's too much information. But it's also it's just try not to be opportunistic. So if you don't know, like, sometimes I don't know if I do know. Sometimes I don't know if I'm inappropriate. Sometimes I say in public, I say inappropriate things, because I just say what's on my mind. And I need to have somebody nearby. It's generally my wife has been assigned to that duty to say, "Ooh, no, no, you can't say that. You can't say that." So somebody asked what is an example. They're that inappropriate. They're not like inappropriate towards other humans. I just make bad. I just make really. I make jokes in extremely bad taste. Extremely, yeah, and that is another reason I don't go out in public. Yeah, I just make jokes in extremely bad taste, and in really. But to me, they're hilarious. To me, and I just do it to entertain myself. But I know it. So don't make it a commercial. Don't make it about you at all. Okay, don't make it about you at all. And save the personal, ready? Okay, hard talk. Gather around the fireplace, everybody. Dad's gonna have a hard talk with you. Save the personal tragedies for your personal life. Okay? I, you don't want someone hiring you because they feel sorry for you. You want someone hiring for you because you can in a super heroic fashion give them a transformation in their lives. That's why you want people hiring you. Whether it's through a protein powder or for phenomenal eyebrows, Jennifer. I'm looking at you. God. Okay. So engagement, go live. I another tip for you is interact with your audience. That'll go a long way. Interact with your audience, um, and be consistent. So have a consistent posting schedule, have a consistent time where you're showing up, have a consistent time where you're interacting. All of that kind of stuff really should boost your engagement, increase your visibility. Yeah, good. And we're still okay for time, so let's do a few more that are on my mind, like lead generation. Okay, so I know if I'm sorry. If I've offended you today, please pardon me. Please pardon me. Okay, so we talked about a content strategy. We talked about selecting your platform, then we talked about engaging, but none of it matters if you're not generating leads. Did I offend you? Just tell me if I offended you. I didn't mean to. We just have to, sometimes we just have to be honest. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. What's up? What's up, friends on YouTube? Thanks for being here. I just saw a heart fly by or something fly by on YouTube. Somebody gave me something. That was nice. Thanks. All right, so lead generation. So in anything, I like free to low barrier to entry to, whatever's beyond that in network marketing, it's to full on client. So like in my own business, you're attending something that's free. I give free workshops. I have free stuff on my website. I have calls to help you get your first couple of clients for free. Like all of that stuff just brings people closer to me. Then I can bring them into a low barrier to entry offer, like a $197 mentorship for 4 weeks. And then we bring them into a mastermind, like you're watching, a bunch of people here are from the mastermind. My mastermind is wildly affordable. It's less than the cost of coffee per day. Like I always say this, if you bought coffee yesterday and you drank that coffee, you spent more than people who got to spend 2 or 3 hours with me yesterday working side by side on their marketing. I don't know which is a better deal. Sitting to drink coffee or like literally having somebody who for more than 2 decades to say, look, go do this and it's going to work. Like look at Eileen in the chat talking about how her YouTube is blown up. And, I don't know. I guess if you were to do the latter, you could still buy coffee because we want to make you a bunch of money too. Anyway, you could go to prouty.me if you want to join that mastermind. That's my last name.me, by the way. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're watching this thing live, I'll put that link in the conversation over here. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah. I don't want you in there if you don't want to be in there. So even if you don't want to be in there, that's fine. That's cool. And if you want to be in there, that's cool with me too. Like, I had to yell at somebody earlier that they should be in there. Could help them a lot. They will when they're ready. All right, back to the notes. So lead generation, start with free things. What are some of the free things that you could give? Like you could give tutorials. You could create a guide or give a sheet of tips or a checklist or how to get started doing something. Those kind of free things would help. If it's like health and wellness, you could give recipes that they could try. One of the ones that's worked really well for the protein powder people is here are 5 high protein breakfast smoothies that have no sugar to get your day going. 2 of them require no protein powder. You see, what we're trying to help people and not be all about the product. So like that would be a good way to generate some leads. You always want to be super clear on your calls to action. The people in the masterminds know my call to action. You probably hear it in your sleep, where I often say, this is general advice. You're a unique person. You have unique needs and a unique business. And if you'd like to brainstorm with me about a unique plan for your unique business, well, we can do that. We can be a couple of entrepreneurs sitting on a call talking about how to help you grow. Not a sales call in disguise, and you can get that just by going to Prouty.me. It's my last name.me. All right, that's my call to action. I use that same one everywhere. So just be super clear on whatever your call to action is. And it would be wise to explore platform specific features. So when we used to do that, we used to say like Facebook groups. Facebook groups was good. I don't think they're so good anymore. I think they're really distracting, but platform specific features. So things like voice messaging. That's a platform specific. Yeah, things really do change, right? Facebook groups used to be great, but they just became way too distracting and really hard to get the message out. So then once you've got all this together, now you're getting leads, you're creating content, you're on the platforms, you're engaging with your audience. Now the last thing that we need to do is measure. And that's really, this is the basics of anything in business is, measure the stuff you do. A word of warning, though, a word of caution. The attribution model tends to fall away when you use multiple socials and a website and in-person marketing or in-person, what is that called? Networking. Here's why. I have the ability to track where leads and clients come from. I can track them all the way back to the first time they went from not knowing me to knowing me, and I can track them all the way to the point where they became a client. And a lot of times somebody will see me, their first exposure to me is they will see an ad that I'm running, or they'll happen to go by a YouTube video go past a YouTube video or watch a little bit of a YouTube video. That's first attribution. But then they'll be connected with me on LinkedIn and they'll send me a message and they'll get on a meeting then. So what's my attribution? Is it YouTube or is it LinkedIn or is it both? And then in between, they visited my website. They checked me out on Facebook. They followed me on Instagram. They went back and subscribed to my YouTube channel. They watched a VSL or they watched an educational video that I have on my website. Where is the attribution at that point? You can't. Which one of those things was it that caused the person to decide to make the next move? Here is a news flash. It's all of them. It's every single one of those things that just chipped away, built the authority, built the expertise, showed the level of trust that you can have with someone. So you can't just say, oh, all of my referrals come from YouTube. Well, maybe. Or did they go to your website or follow you on social media or find you or at least look at you? Did they look at your social profiles without following you? The attribution model falls away, which is why we have to focus on everything that's within our time horizon and our ability and our focus and the effort that we can place. We have to focus on making everything really good. So when we measure, don't just measure. I only get my, I'm not going to call them out by name, but there's somebody here that says I only get my clients from Facebook. Are you absolutely certain? If Facebook is the only place that you are and you don't have a website, you don't have a LinkedIn, you don't have Instagram, or you don't have YouTube, you don't have TikTok, X, If that's all you are, sure, yes. Our attribution model is very clear. But if you're somewhere else, you're in-person networking, you're Zoom networking, that you're all over the place, unless you can check, like I can, because I've got tools that measure that, you don't know what the attribution model truly is because it falls away. Because, last point, it takes, write this down, it takes 32 exposures over about 23 days before someone will make a move towards working with you. So they got to see you a lot in a lot of different places before someone will take the move to start working with you. So measure everything, improve everything, and watch what happens. All right. There you go. That was a super long answer to that. And I hope you got a ton out of that. We're at the top of the hour. I haven't looked at YouTube to see if anybody's going crazy over there. All right, nothing in the chat. Where is that dude that was here 2 weeks ago? Remember that guy? His name was like Draco or something like that. Who's counted? How many times have I picked this up and not taken a drink? I said it was going to be 18. I bet it came close. And if you want to get on my calendar and you want to explore what it's like to be in the most unbelievable collaborative mastermind where we work together every single week for hours on your marketing, all you got to do is go to https://prouty.me. Somebody says, how much do you pay for Prouty.me? I have no idea. I have no idea. Probably $15 a year. Probably $15 a year I pay for that. I don't know, but that's just the domain. The domain then points to my calendar. My calendar is part of my CRM. So you can check out the CRM I use by going to https://crm.prouty.me. It's just like the Prouty.me, but with a CRM in front of it. https://crm.prouty.me. That in there you can see my CRM. So Prouty.me forwards to the calendar that's part of my CRM. That's how it all works. Yeah. So I don't know. How much do I pay for it? I pay $15 a year for Prouty.me, but then it does other things for me. We are at the top of the hour, and here we are. What was your biggest takeaway from our time together today? You people on YouTube, you're rather quiet. Chat has been quiet today. Chat was crazy 2 weeks ago when I didn't go live last week. Chat was crazy 2 weeks ago. All right. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. You guys on the Zoom hangout, I'll come back and say goodbye to you. Jim, I knew you would get a ton out of that. Give me 1 second. Hey, YouTube, thanks for hanging out today. By the way, if you're watching this, you can't tell if it's live or a replay.